Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Things are a little squeezy out here in the markets, not only with AMC, but the broad indexes. If you are a short seller or if you own puts in this market, you're getting destroyed today. Some would say your face is getting ripped off of your portfolio because indexes are ripping. And it's because PPI came in better than expectations. You were expecting a flat month over month PPI reading. If you don't know, PPI is producer price index. It's the producer side of inflation. Think raw cost, think about making different products. That's what PPI is supposed to capture. It actually came in deep deflationary territory, negative 0.5%. That is very positive. But what is causing inflation to fall? Is it because we're going into recession and consumers are spending less money? Well, we're going to get that information coming out tomorrow morning with retail sales. So I wouldn't be so sure about a move we're seeing today. After all, this is a low volume day in the market. So it looks like the plunge protection team is out doing their work, bidding up stocks. And the plunge protection team are the market makers. Now, I don't want to focus on that too much here in this video. We will give you guys a broad breakdown of the data coming out tomorrow and what will be important to the markets at that video that comes out roughly at 4 p.m. every single day. We'll wrap up the trading day for AMC. Everything you need to know will be in that video for the next day as well, for this Friday. Now, here in this video, I want to talk about what is currently going on in the markets, what is happening with AMC stock, because if you live under a rock, if you have a poor internet connection, or you just woke up for the day, AMC is now on the threshold securities list. Cost to borrow rates remain in that 400 to 600% range, and the short interest just went up by about 10 million shares, roughly equates to about a 1.6% increase in the short interest. So we're going to get into all of that and much more here in this video. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. I don't know what you are doing in it. If you also want to take it one step further, come trade with me live in real time. Link down below in the description of this video for that one. Now, guys, markets are ripping literal faces off of shorts right now. S&P 500 is up 1.25%. Now, like I said already, I would be very timid about trying to play an upside move in this market because, after all, markets care about earnings, and you're going to get the first round of bank earnings coming tomorrow. There's an interesting dynamic with the bank earnings that we'll talk about more in the next video, but essentially, if bank earnings come in really good, the Fed's not going to need to pivot or pause as quickly. And that's a big reason why markets have been rallying, because markets are pricing in Fed rate cuts. So that's one part of tomorrow. But depending on how earnings numbers actually come in, that can also give you a reaction. That, with retail sales, as well as the Michigan Consumer Sentiment Survey, this move today means very little in my personal opinion. So I'd be pretty careful trying to make assumptions based off what we're seeing today, but the markets are in full short squeeze mode. AMC stock as well is up almost about 3%, 3 to 5% for a majority of the day today, sitting at $5.50 per share, and AMC has been doing very well over the past 2 weeks here. You're well off the bottom. You broke out above the 50 and the 100-day moving average. We're going to see if we can close above that. We're 1 cent below that right now. For a majority of the day, you have been higher than that 100-day moving average, and that's what I really want to watch pretty closely here, especially into the end of the day today and the end of the day tomorrow. If you can close above that heading into the weekend, that is really what you want to see happen. Now, like I said, this bullishness in the markets is not really helping AMC, because what we've seen recently is when the markets fall, AMC has actually been outperforming and has been in deep green territory. Now, why that potentially could be a thing is because shorts have to put up more collateral in their AMC short positions when collateral does go down, and stocks like Apple tend to be a big part of that collateral and have a big role to play. Now, before we dive into any of the numbers, I want to go over this article. It's from MarketWatch. It did come out today at about 8 o'clock in the morning. It says, stock rally making it too hot for shorts as AMC, GameStop, Coinbase are the most, quote, squeezable. And this is by S3 Partners, their analyst, looks at factors that will eat into that profit. And it goes on to say, as the broader stock market has been on a tear for about a month, things are looking grim for investors with big short positions in stocks like AMC Entertainment and GameStop. And one analyst has listed the most squeezable of those stocks. With that in mind, Iyer Duszwanski, head of predictive analysts at financial technology and analytics firm S3 Partners, compiled a list of those most vulnerable stocks headed by such names as AMC, GameStop, Coinbase, and CarMax. It says over the past month, the indexes have gained in between 5% and 7%. 7% for the Nasdaq, 5% for the Dow, 6% for the S&P 500. Now, they go on to say that one factor that is also killing profits for shorts is the borrowing costs on stocks that no one is willing to part with. And the stock that figures highest on that list is AMC. For AMC alone, short sellers must pay a whopping 238% premium in borrowing fees to short, but that's mostly because there's no stock to borrow. Quote, short sellers want to short the stock, but they are not able to get a stock borrow locate and therefore cannot execute their short on the street, Duszwanski told MarketWatch in an interview. Quote, but when any stock borrows become available, lenders, brokers know they can charge inflated fees as there is huge demand for the name. In this case, there is an AMC preferred stock ape arbitrage trade that will be profitable if the conversion occurs soon because the high financing costs are eating into those expected profits every day, including weekends. So more people are starting to talk about this, and cost of borrow rates have been high for a very long time. So if you've been short in AMC, given this latest rally, you have seen your profits rapidly deteriorate at the same time that you are paying hundreds of percents for your cost to borrow fees. That is really going to play a big role in getting shorts to cover on short positions, because after all, you wouldn't be in a trade if you thought you were going to lose. And as we do start to approach April 27th and investors start to open their minds here and think about this court date logically, it's not set in stone. It's not a home run win if you are short in AMC. And according to the data that we're getting, there's a lot of money that could be lost if AMC does rally from these shorts. Taking an overview look at the short interest numbers for AMC, you're looking at about $735 million worth of short positions currently on AMC. Short interest going from 25.12% yesterday to 26.69% here today. Free flow out on loan at about 38.25%, 197.5 million shares that are out on loan. 5 days to cover, a 100% share utilization. And like I said earlier, AMC is back on the threshold securities list. When that tends to happen, it does tend to be a bullish thing. For AMC, statistically, the stock does like to rally when it's on the threshold securities list. And the best way that I like to look at this is these FTDs, they have to be bought back in 35 days. So if you're starting to see AMC back on the threshold securities list, a lot of these FTDs happened a while ago. So a lot of these are coming due and will need to be bought back ASAP. Also, I would say secondary, it does highlight the problem going on with AMC and puts a spotlight on the shorts that are involved in AMC. And that's also not good for anyone that is short in this name. Now, AMC, like I said, on the threshold securities list. If we look at the failure to deliver numbers, go ahead and refresh this page, see if we're getting anything that is new. And these white bars are the FTD numbers, and you could see recently we've had the highest FTDs that we've had in a very long time, and you were on the threshold securities list, and the stock did rally before and after these FTDs. Really, when they started to pick up, you started to see AMC stock rally. And then right after the peak of the FTDs, you did see the high in AMC at the time. Now, for tomorrow, you got about 1.8, for today, 1.8 million failure to delivers that do come due. Tomorrow, you got about 2 million failure to delivers that also come due. Doesn't mean we're necessarily going to get a rally based off of that sole factor alone, considering there's a lot of other factors that are, I would call, more important to AMC and the potential for a short squeeze from here. like the court date, April 27th. For my own reasonings, I think you could see a massive short squeeze after April 27th. If you guys want another video on that, breaking that down, again, just let me know and we will definitely make that, because I think everyone should be on the correct page when it comes down to AMC, because we have not seen numbers like this, again, in a very long time. And really, we've never seen short interest numbers at 26.31%. Like, that has not been a thing. At the same time, cost to borrow rates have been this high, and there's been a clear and obvious upside move coming in the near term horizon. We've never been in a position like this, and I think it is very bullish. But keep in mind, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a financial planner. I'm not your dad. I'm not your uncle. I'm not your grandpa. I'm not your cousin. I'm not your... None of that. So don't listen to me. I have no obligation to be right on this. I put my money where my mouth is, sure. But if I'm wrong and I think, upside move is coming, I provide my thesis and my opinion. Those are only my opinions. And that's very clear, should be very clear by now for everyone to know. But if it is not, there is the disclaimer here. So you definitely want to come to your own conclusions on all of this information. As you guys know, it's... AMC is one of those companies where you get random buyout news this day, and then you get the court dismissing the status quo order, and all these things are bullish, and then you could get another document that comes out tomorrow that says the opposite. Anything can really happen, and that's why it's vitally important to come to your own conclusions. But cost to borrow rates. Cost to borrow average at 381.82%. Cost to borrow max at 516%. Cost to borrow minimum at 345.43%. Cost to borrow numbers currently at about 400% for AMC stock. And like I said, guys, this is the most bullish time in a long time for AMC. And good news for us, if you could see where the stock is going, especially around this court date, it's not a done deal. It's none of this is a done deal. That is uncertainty. That means some not so good things for the shorts. Let's just call it that. At the same time, you're seeing record short interest numbers that we have not seen in a very long time. And AMC now on the threshold securities list. It's literally like, connecting the dots here. Forgot the name of the game, but it's like connecting the dots, and it's pretty clear to see. Now, there you have all of that. If we take a look at the Fed rate monitor tool, I do want to go over this since we did get the PPI numbers, and markets are still expecting a rate hike coming May 3rd to take the federal funds rate in between 5 and 5.25%. 65.8% of investors are expecting that rate hike. 34.2% of investors are currently expecting a pause. And then at the next meeting, you're pretty much firmly pricing in a pause. June 14th, about 62.9% chance of that. Even 31.1% expecting a pause in June as well, to not raise rates May 3rd and to continue to pause in June. So depending on that data comes in the morning, it will change the probabilities of rate cuts. It'll change the probability of the Fed pausing or raising rates. That's mainly because retail sales that come out tomorrow, you're expecting a negative 0.9%. If it comes in much worse than that, that is going to take precedence over PPI going down more than expectations. If the economy is slowing and that's the reason why inflation is falling, that's not good. But it's really hard to forecast that. So there you have all of this information. We'll be back at 4 o'clock roughly to talk about everything that has happened in the markets, if any new information does come out, but mainly to get you guys ready for tomorrow and the potential outcomes of tomorrow to wrap up this trading week. So that is it. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. If you guys also want to come trade with me live in real time, link down below in the description of this video as well. Most importantly, enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.